Hey, what's going on, people, man? Today's a bit of a different video. Um, I want to let you know right off the bat that my views in this video are mine and mine alone. This is a separate video from anything I do with my other people I record with. And, you know, I hope you respect the fact and leave them out of this. If you want to just know me as Froggy Man and you don't care about what I have to say, just stop the video now. If you care what I have to say, then hang tight. All right, you still there? Okay. The world's a crazy place, man. You know, I started Froggy Man as a way of spreading positivity and love, making people smile, and making them forget about the world that goes on around them. But I gotta be honest. Right now, people need to pay attention. You know, I come from a family where when I grew up, I remember the very first story was talking to my Uncle Jack, who had numbers tattooed on his forearm. And I remember asking him what those were. And, you know, that's when he told me the story about concentration camps. And about his childhood and about how things went and who was lost. And those stories stick with you, you know. And he also told me the day that America came in, like he remembered. He told me, you know, the day he woke up and saw American troops coming through the gate of the concentration camp. And he knew everything was going to be okay. Which brings us now to where we are today as America. And it saddens me inside. You know, this authoritarian, racist overtones have been in our country since the beginning. I mean, look at the American Revolution. You know, back when we were still colonists, right? You know, and you would think as a society, we would learn to love and care and not fear each other. But we do. But why? You know, we have a corrupt system in place that's used to oppress. And whether we talk about it or not, it's still there. There are people out there that are generally, they're in a lot of pain and they're hurting. And they're tired of it, and I don't blame them. You know, in the 50s and 60s, our parents, our grandparents, they fought for our freedoms. They fought for everyone's freedom. And I think when the 70s came around, people had a uneasy, maybe out of sight, out of mind, that it was gone, that it was conquered, and people lived carefree. Nobody needed to really fight anymore. You know, 70s went through, sex, drugs, and rock and roll. 80s came through. Everybody, man, was making good money. It was the technology revolution, right? Everything was going great in the 80s. And then 1990s hit. And Rodney King. And at this point, it wasn't widely talked about because the problem was the systemic issues were still there. There was a community still being oppressed. There was a community still being locked up and put in prison for minor crimes for the rest of their lives. And it's not the police officer's fault. It's the system. It's the system we have in place. I think the problem is whenever there's protest, there's always going to be people that are opportunists. There are going to be people that are there to, one, discredit the protesters. Two, there's always going to be anarchists there that just want to see the world burn. But those are what's happening now is this has been building up for years. And not only has this been building up for years, I mean, if you go back and look at American history, this is nothing new in this country. I loved history growing up as a kid. I was a bit of a book nerd, you know. I wasn't very social. I never was. I became social later, got myself in some trouble, but I mean, that's neither here nor there because this isn't about me. But it's all there. It's in our history. It's in our history. It's how we ended up taking America to begin with. America wasn't ours to take, but we took it. So now we're at a point where people live in fear, where parents are losing their children and children are losing their parents. And this has been going on systematically for years in the shadows, slowly coming out once in a while in the media, and then twisted for ulterior motives in this country. Listen, this is America. This is supposed to be a place where we as a country are united, that we stand together, that we believe that this is home of the free, land of the brave. I mean, let's talk about Ellis Island. I guarantee you nobody's family can trace back to the start in America. No, every single person here is from somewhere else, welcomed with open arms. So what happened? Why is this happening now? And what do we need to do to fix it as a whole? The system needs to be changed. The system needs to be changed. You know, I have friends that are on both sides of the field. You know, I have friends that are sheriffs and police officers, and I have friends that are protesting. There's a lot of good people out there, but the system is broken. And the people protesting are just trying to be heard. If you're out there looting, you should be ashamed of yourselves, because you're not looting any major places. You're looting mom and pop shops most of the time. Somebody owns that. It doesn't matter what you think. I grew up in LA, and to find out, like, Tanner's, a delicatessen, got looted. Like, why? What was the point of that? You know, the same thing happened in the 90s. Me and my mom were talking about the Watts riots too. She lived through that. The thing is they all have something in common. They're people that are hurt. And they're tired of it. People shouldn't feel scared when they leave their houses every day in America. I don't care who you are or where you're from. The world is looking at us now. And the world is praying for us now. And more than ever, we need to come together. Enough of the BS. As a people, we need to come together. You know, I never in a million years thought I was even going to be talking about anything like this on my channel. And it was a really hard decision to make. Because I love everybody. I love everybody. And not everybody's going to like what I have to say. And I'm sorry if you don't. I'm sorry if you don't. I was, you know, I'm not perfect. It took years to become the person I am today. But you know, there's a point where you just need to realize that there's good. There's good in this world. I'm sorry. I hate seeing this. Who am I? But I hate seeing this. And I've been seeing it growing and the divide growing every day. And I tell myself every day, got to get up. And I just, you know, got to put smiles on everybody's faces. Because at least if I can make them smile, but it's that's a temporary fix. Sure, you forget about what's going on outside. Sure, you forget about how bad your day was. But what about tomorrow? I can't say I know what it's like to live in fear of leaving my house and driving my car down the road. I can tell you that growing up as a kid in Los Angeles with some of my friends, I know what it's like to get pulled over with them and then get separated from them. And watch my friends who were black or Mexican getting harassed as they separated me. never made sense. The older I got, the more sense it made. But it's time. It's time. It's time to be heard. It's time. It's time for change. I encourage everybody out there to read. Read our history. If you don't know, please read. Learn. They've systematically have been tearing down our schools for years. An uneducated population is easy to control. I love my country, and I love everyone in it. And it's up to us to make a difference. It's up to us to make things right. Whether you're going to go out there and protest, or whether you're going to go out there and support them, or whether you're going to go out and vote, we need to make a difference. The hate has to stop. We need to stop this for our children and our children's children. The hate has to stop. There has to be equality in this country. You guys stayed here till the end. Thank you. I said what I had to say. Please take a look at the bottom of the video. There's some great links down there to the ACLU, to the Black Lives Matter site. A lot of great resources there. And if you think all lives matter, of course all lives matter. Then the system still has to change. By supporting Black Lives Matter, you're supporting all lives matter. Because they just want the system to change. Everybody deserves to be treated equally in this country. I love you guys. I really do. I said what I had to say.